usual. So, like a sneak behind the curtain, I'm literally sat in my pants. I've just got out of the shower. It is very, very warm up here.
It is here too.
I've got my hair is down. It's not tied up. And I am very much enjoying just swooshing it about at the minute. And I'm sat, I'm enjoying a beverage. And I'm just feeling very relaxed. So I'm
letting it all hang out.
Yes. So I'm getting laid back in my chair. I'm not sat up. I'm like reclined. I am comfortable.
Be careful. If you're in your pants and you recline or you slouch too much, you can end up wedging yourself.
No, I'm fine. Don't you worry. I am comfortable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we're starting this episode. Welcome to Wargamers Anonymous. My name is Josh. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I am joined, as always, by my superstar, mega, esteemed, wonderful, absolute gentleman co-host, Elston from Elston Nation.
That's only because you got to hang out with me for a day.
It is. I did get to hang out with you for a day. I feel honoured. I've only ever met you twice in real life, and both times have been amazing.
It's been a lot of fun both times, and this time was no exception. But we can't talk about that right now because that is the main topic of today's show. We'll tell you more about that.
That is indeed the main topic for show today. But before we get to that, we need to do all the normal stuff. So if you enjoy the podcast, be sure to leave us a like, leave us a review, leave us a comment if you're on YouTube. And if you want to check us out anywhere else, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you get podcasts normally, we are in all those places. Check us out. Make sure you subscribe or follow or whatever it is you're doing on whichever platform it is. And just let us know if you're enjoying the show. If you want to get in contact and comment on the show or have any suggestions for it, join the Pickle Jar Discord. There's a link for it in the show notes or in the description. And come and join us over there. We've got a dedicated section for the podcast.
Because we do like filling all the holes where podcasts live. So we like filling holes.
How far in? Like 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes in, and Elston has already broken the smut meter.
It's just pushing it into the gut over and over and over again.
Elston, how are you, my deranged companion?
I'm very well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a slightly different episode for us. You may not notice anything different, but we certainly are experiencing something a little bit different. We are recording this at an evening time rather than a Saturday morning, which is when we usually record. We are recording this on a Friday evening because our good friend Pickle is off to London town.
Yeah, mate, I'm off to London, innit?
London. What are you doing down London, down south?
So we are going down to London because it was part of Great Pickle's birthday this week. And for her birthday, she wanted to visit London, go and see a show, and just have a nice day out. So we're going down, we're going early tomorrow morning, and we're coming back late on tomorrow night. So we're leaving the house at about 6:30, and we will get in at about 10:30. So it's going to be a long day, but I am really looking forward to it. I've not been to London for a few years now because of like pandemic and stuff. So we're going to go and see the Back to the Future show, the musical. And we're going to go and have a wander around, probably take in some of the sites, going to check out a few shops. It should be good. But yes, it is interesting recording this on a Friday night. It's a very different feel to recording it on a Saturday morning.
Right, and it allows us to experience this week's snack attack as well, which again, I will tease you about it now, but I will not spoil it.
Yep, no spoilers.
We are already enjoying our snack attack, so we'll let you know at the end.
Yes. So, Elston, as always, we've had a bit of a waffle. We've had a bit of a catch-up. We're both all right. So, you know what I'm going to ask next. What have you been working on over the last couple of weeks?
So, Operation FAP is in full swing.
Jesus
Christ. Let that one sink in.
Yeah, so let that hang.
Yeah, let your FAP hang.
Okay. You love that joke.
It's not a joke. It's a real thing. Operation FAP. It's gonna be on the internet soon.
I'm pretty certain that there is already plenty of fapping on the internet.
Plenty of fapping over the internet. Fapping on the... no.
Anyway.
Let's not go down that.
Let's get into specifics.
Right. So I spent about a week or so editing my man cave video that I've been working on. I did some fun editing things. I did what I thought was a very snappy thing. Turned out to be a very long thing. Wait for the video. You'll see what I mean. And then I carried on with Operation FAP, and I'm sitting at about, I'm going to say close to 1,000 models primed right now, possibly more. Yeah. I think I'm getting close towards the end, and I've also come to a realization about keeping more models or not to keep more models, which there will be a video about, because again, sort of going through this, working out everything, trying to do every single kit, you kind of realize, do I actually need this stuff?
Yeah,
and
right.
Comes to the conclusion that you're like, no, I don't.
No.
So I've made some more decisions about stuff I do not want.
Any droids?
No, sadly not.
And it not that I need any more droids, to be honest. But
and it has nothing to do with the fact that Horus Heresy has come out, and I am full bore into it, and therefore may require some more funds and space to deal with this obsession that is mine. It's nothing to do with that at all.
No, nothing to do with that.
No.
It's just a pure coincidence.
Yes. Timing is just one of those mysterious things that it happened. So yeah, again, there's going to be a video coming out about that, about what should you keep, what should you get rid of, and yeah, that is what I've been up to. There are plenty of black models all around me, and yeah, moving forward, onwards and upwards, and all that jazz. What have you actually been up to, Pickle? Did I ask you that or not?
No, you didn't, but you have done now, and that's okay.
What are you up to? What have you been up to, bruv?
What have I been doing? So, I have started work on Star Wars Legion finally.
Yes.
I think I mentioned on maybe the last episode that I'd painted an Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think I did it on the stream before the last episode. I've finished that model now. It's all based and everything. I got the basing stuff. I'm playing around with different basing materials. I wanted to do him on like a Geonosis base, but I didn't just want to chuck red sand on and call it done, because that's not really Geonosis. That's more Mars. Even though it is a sort of like a ready Earth. So I ordered some of the Vallejo crackling texture paste stuff. I got some of that. I got some pigment powders, and I've tried a couple of different things. I've settled on one that I'm happy enough with, although I think once I start to work on all my Legion stuff properly, I will sort of refine it. Basically, what I did is I applied the texture paste, then I painted it as the sort of right, sort of ready colour-ish.
Yeah.
Then I put a wash on to sort of dark it down and go into the recessed bits to sort of exaggerate the cracks a little bit, and then I put some pigments on top to sort of make it that dusty sort of look. I'm happy enough with it, but it's going to take a little bit of refinement. But I've got one Star Wars Legion model finished. It's not from my droid army, obviously.
No.
But and also I have started building my droids. So I built a load. I built 6 models on my stream this week. I built the B1, one of the B1 Battle Droid expansion sets, which has got 4 models in it that have got like a couple extra weapon types.
Yep.
I built Count Dooku, which was literally like attaching 4 pieces. That wasn't. I'm not even classing that as building. Like, and I built the one of the Super Droid commanders. So we'll talk about this a little bit on the main topic, but I made a mistake when I bought one of the things that I bought.
I did see that.
Yeah. So I've got a few built. I've obviously got a lot more to build, but this is the start of my big droid project. Finally getting on with it. As well as that, I did my paint stripping video, which came out yesterday. So I've stripped a load of old models, some old Necron Raiders, some Chaos Androids, and Forge World Necron Pylon. I stripped them all. If you want to see that video, we'll put a link in the description. But I'm quite happy with that. The stuff that I use works really, really well, and they're all stripped now, ready for a future video where I paint them up. I've got a really cool plan for that one if I can pull it off. I'm still trying to organize it, but if I can organize what I want to do with that, that's going to be a really fun video to do. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And that's
potential collab as well. Potentially,
yes, yes. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we can pull that off as well.
Yeah, because I like pulling things off.
Oh God! But yes, that's basically been what I've been up to over the last couple of weeks. I've not really done a ton of painting. I did start painting a Blood Bowl star player on Wednesday this week. I started painting. I can't remember what his name is. It's the
fat rat.
Yeah, it's the big rat from the Skaven team. I started painting him, painted all the skin on him. Just as a random project, I wanted to get out of the house for a bit. I went down to my local store and I started painting him. I'm quite happy with the skin on that as well.
Nice.
It was just nice to sort of zone out for a couple of hours and just literally just paint the skin. So yeah, not a ton of stuff, but I feel like I've been fairly busy.
Yeah. We have, because we went to an event, didn't we?
We did. We went to an event together. We went to the UK Games Expo in Birmingham last weekend. That was a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was. Do you want to do this in chronological order? Because you had a bit of a story before you even got there. Oh, God.
Yeah, so basically I was asked to go along the gaming tables that Luke's been building over at Geek Gaming Scenics, the World War II tables. I'll put a link for the playlist down below. They were being taken to the event as a fundraising thing and as a publicity thing. And I got asked by the guy who commissioned the tables to go along and take some photos and some videos and stuff for him and for a future video that we're doing on Geek Gaming Scenics. So myself and Pirate Queen Pickle, we had a hotel room paid for us for the Thursday night, a very, very fancy hotel that I wish I'd been in for a bit longer. And then we had our passes paid for on the Friday. We could have gone for the full weekend, but I had other stuff that I needed to do, so I couldn't really take the full weekend off. But we had a bit of a nightmare. The Thursday, I was the only one in the unit at work to let the delivery van collect the tables and take them down to the event. The van that turned up was way too small and the boards did not fit in it. I was supposed to be leaving work around dinner time, like once the boards had been picked up, heading home, getting all my stuff ready, heading down to Birmingham to get there for about 5-6 o'clock-ish so that we could go out for tea, have a nice evening, do some filming for a couple of videos that I wanted to do, and then get some rest and then, go for the event for the next day. We didn't end up leaving Wakefield until about 9:30. And it's
also, just to clarify as well for the Southerners, dinner time means lunchtime. So just to clarify on that part, in case anyone's confused. Yeah, Carry on, Pickle.
Thank you for that. So Wakefield is about a 2-hour drive from Birmingham, so we didn't get there until about, I think we made good time. I think we got there about 11:15, but then by the time we walked from the car park to the hotel, it was about 25 to 12. So we literally, because I'd been stressing and rushing then to get there, I'd forgot to bring a load of equipment that I needed. So I basically didn't get any filming done that I wanted to get done. I got the bits done that I needed to do for work and for the table and stuff, but I didn't get any of the stuff that I wanted to get done at all. But the Friday, like the next day, despite being a bit tired and achy from being in the car so much, the Friday was fantastic. I had a really nice time.
This is where I come in.
Yeah, we were walking from the hotel back to the car to drop a couple of bits off that I didn't want to be carrying around all day, and we bumped into Elston on his way from the car park to the centre. So then
that's pretty good timing, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Elston then turned around and walked back with us, back the way that it came, and then came in with us. But yeah, we had a really nice time. So I mean, do you want to talk a little bit now? I've just rambled for a while. If you want to talk a little bit about the expo, and then we'll sort of jump in and out.
Yeah, so the interesting part, as I said, we met up, we went back into the event, and I've been to the expo before, and I know what it's like. You have to get in a queue to get your ticket, which when you swipe or whatever, you go get a lanyard and a ticket thing, and you get your ticket, then you go get a lanyard. Anyway, so I know the expo, and I've been there before. And what happens is people queue up, get their tickets, and then they form another queue to get in to the thing. So you queue, and then you queue. And I know this happens. And I was like, right. Okay. And you had exhibitor passes as well. So
yeah,
we kind of, it was pretty close to like opening time, wasn't it? When we got to like where the queues were starting and everything.
Yeah, because we had to go to the car first. By the time we got back, it was very close to the doors opening.
Yeah. So I basically said, like, you guys go on in, and that's where you got escorted.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was one of the most important, like the most important I have felt. Because we got exhibitor passes, and I kind of wanted to get in and get some pictures and footage of the table before the crowds arrived. So I went up to one of the guys that was working there and just said, we need to get into Hall 2, showed him as passes. He said, follow me, marched ahead, clear a path, please clear a path, move out of the way. Everyone were looking around like, oh my God, who's this? And I'm like, it's just me. But that was a very fun experience. It was exactly like the scene from Wayne's World where they were backstage.
So on my side of things, I had a surprisingly smooth ride in, because I seemed to have joined the queue for the tickets as that queue was dying down, and it was kind of constantly moving, so I didn't have that anxiety of sitting in queues. I just kind of mooched along casually. As I got close towards the thing, the main entrance opened up and everyone started flooding in. So I kind of smoothly walked up to the ticket counter, got my ticket, smoothly walked over to the entrance, got my lanyard, and smoothly just strolled in past everyone else because I walked quite fast for a little guy. And then I ended up where you guys were, and I was just like, that was easy. And no stress. All those people that queued up for half an hour beforehand, suck it. Mine was I was cool that day.
I'm going to say it didn't seem that long before you were in with us, because I was kind of expecting to be sat for ages waiting for you. I'd pretty much got all the stuff that I needed by the time you got in. And then I was like, Elston's here. Cool. Yeah.
It was, as I said, it was smooth sailing all the way through that bit. So yeah, you were doing some more filming stuff. We went and got coffee and we dealt with some, we didn't deal with them. We had to stand behind some grumpy people going, where's my coffee? I ordered it ages ago. It's a cappuccino. And then the lady's like, 2 lattes. I was like, meat, see ya. So we had that interesting little experience. Me and PQP went off and did that. Then we came back and grabbed you, and then we started our stroll around the expo. Now, the expo, if anyone's not been there before or is curious about it, you kind of have to adopt a walking pattern there, because there is so much there. If you randomly wiggle your way around, you will miss so much.
I mean, to be honest, we had a fairly thorough pattern.
Yeah, right.
And we both missed stuff.
Yeah, right. At the end, we really oh, how did we miss this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's all in rows. So the best way to adopt moving around is literally go up, down rows and go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and just work your way through it all. There's going to be a fair amount you're not really interested in, but there's going to be some gems in there as well. So we were wandering around at the beginning, all this kind of cool stuff. We found a t-shirt you liked.
Oh my God.
We came back and it was gone.
Yeah, I was so annoyed at that. I saw a Hellfire Club t-shirt and I was like, I'm going to buy that later. And then when we went back later on, they'd sold out of just that one t-shirt. Everything else was fine. just that one T-shirt.
It wasn't even that much later. I would say maybe it's an hour or two or something like that. And it was just like, no, sorry, they're all gone.
Because normally what I do at conventions is, and it's another tip for anyone that goes, is I have a sort of budget in mind of what I want to allow myself to spend. But what I like to do is have a look around the entire thing, because I don't want to like blur. Like, if say for example I got £100, and on the first row of stalls, bear in mind this is 2 halls worth of stuff. If on the first row of stalls I spent £50, and then in the second hall there's something that I really, really want, but it's 80, I could have bought that, but now I can't because I've spent 50. So I like to do a full lap of when I'm doing stuff like that, so I can go, right, that's a maybe, and then I go back around and buy stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately that was a miss out. I'm going to talk about our experience with Hard Sell Man.
Hard Sell Man.
Hard Sell Man. So
it's like the worst superhero ever.
Yeah, right. We saw something incredible, and I was like fascinated by this thing. If you can imagine,
I think you're overselling how interested we were in this. We vaguely looked in the direction of this booth.
The more I looked at this thing, the more I was fascinated. But this guy, I don't know what he was reading messages wise off of our body language or whatever, or maybe he thought we were like the undercover rich people or something like that.
Very undercover.
Yeah, very undercover rich people. I mean, I'm wearing baggy, like just jeans and a t-shirt and a hat. But so if you can imagine like a semicircle table with a booth in the middle of it where the DM would sit, for Dungeons and Dragons this is. But in front of the booth there is a large LCD screen for like a maps, effectively. You could program the maps in there, and your characters would play out on the big screen, so you can change the maps over. And every like player has an iPad and like drinks holders and everything. It was
a very fancy setup.
Right.
It was very, very fancy.
Yeah, it's very specific. And the really cool thing as well, which I really liked about it, is there was a screen at the back, and the way it was kind of portrayed to us is you could program like there were basically like characters and stuff. Like we saw a skeleton on there, and the skeleton would like talk to people and say things. And I was like, if you can program that skeleton to like say a whole like monologue or something like that, that's incredible. Because the DM can just make these characters appear above him and like just immerse you into the story. I thought that's incredible. If that is what it is, I'm not sure if it was. However, that was not the fundamental thing about our experience with this booth. It looked cool. Some guy that was the selling. I mean, I don't know if he was supposed to be there, if he was hired to be there, or he'd just gone on Skillshare and gone through a course on how to sell things hard and fast. I don't know.
This guy was like every stereotypical car salesman from the 80s. Right. He was determined that we were going to go home with this like Dungeons and Dragons booth. And I mean, not in a funny way, but like me and Elston, we don't exactly look like rich people. Right. I've literally just explained how I was having to wait until I'd been around the entire event before I committed to spending £15 on a t-shirt. This guy was like, £5,000 now, buy this table, take it home. You will earn £100,000 a year, guaranteed, your money back in 4 weeks. Buy. Yeah, that is not an exaggeration. That is how he was.
I mean, to the point where I was like stuttering. I was like, "Are you joking?" I was generally confused a little bit. I was like, "This is cool," because I was really excited about it. I was like, "Man, this would be amazing."
I looked and sort of went, "That looks cool." That was it. That was all the interest I showed, and I was ready to walk on because I'm not going to buy that.
Well, exactly. I mean. I was never going to buy it, but I was like, this is kind of a cool concept. Like, if you were really into D&D, if you were like really like weekly playing 4 or 5 hours, this thing would be amazing for you.
Yeah.
And you had excess cash to do this thing. But one of those, wooden table things that you have got all the compartments and everything like that is probably just as good, if not a little bit better. Yeah. But I was kind of like fascinated by the technology, and there was shiny thing like glowy lights, and I was like, ooh. And this guy was literally saying £5 an hour, each player £5 an hour, and you'll make your money back within 6 months. And you're like, huh? Hang on. And my brain started doing some calculations. I was like, who's going to pay £5 an hour to play D&D? Because the simple fact of D&D is it's cheap. It's like, it's dirty. Like, you need some books. And not even that. You need a pen and paper or something like that. That's that. And then you go around your mates. It's a cheap evening. You just bring some snacks, and then everyone has a laugh. That's kind of it. But he was convinced that he was going to sell D&D players £5 an hour. Now your average session is 4 hours. So that is 20 quid per player per session. So you're like, right. And then if you have a DM, that's £100 per session. I don't think any DM group, like Dungeons and Dragons group, is going to pay £100 a session.
I mean, like, the way that I looked at it, I was like, maybe for like special events and stuff, people would do it. They'd be like, right, it's like campaign finale, or it's it's a very limited campaign. We're going to do like a couple of sessions and we'll book it. But like for regular players.
Yeah. And this guy was confusing us as well, because he was saying the booth kind of seemed like the selling point, but then he said, no, we're game developers, all right? We designed the game, that's what we're selling you. And I'm like, if you're just selling the game, this is kind of shit, because that thing's cool. I don't really care about this game system.
Yeah, it was a bizarre interaction.
Yeah, like to the point where I was like, all right, give me a flyer, I'll go away and give it to someone, or I basically just threw it in the bin because, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, but other than him, we didn't really have any like hard sell.
No,
it was
we just had nice people. Apart from Archon Games, they're weird.
Yeah, but right. Just to caveat that, like, they were nice people. There was just a bit of a language barrier. They weren't horrible people.
No. Let's explain our little experience to Archon Games.
So Archon Games, they had the new He-Man. Go on.
Battle Masters?
Is it? Yeah, Battle Master, whatever it's called. The new game, the 2-player game that came out. That's, I think it's like kind of like an arena type game.
Yeah.
And they'd got that, and then they'd also got a limited edition He-Man and Battle Cat model for that game that is only available at tournaments and events. But on the box for that model, it says not for sale. But then there was a price on the shelf, and I was like, well, is it for sale or is it not for sale? Because and then the guy came over and tried. I think he vaguely said it is for sale. It's just only available for sale here. So my response to that is, then why do you need to have a thing on the box saying that it's not for sale? Because the only places that it's going to be for sale, it's going to be for sale. Like, the only places those boxes are going to be is when it is for sale. You're not shipping them out to stores and saying, oh, you can't sell them though. So just put them up for display, but then don't sell them. Like, you're only taking that box to places where you are going to sell it.
Exactly.
So then at that point, you don't need to say that it's not for sale, because it is.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're not selling it, don't take it. There's a more simple solution to what they've done. But
I just found it really bizarre.
Yeah, because the fact that we were sitting there, like standing there for about a minute, just scratching our heads, and a guy had like, I wonder how many times he had to do that.
I don't think it was the first time, but it's like you and Wendy both bought one.
Yeah.
My friend went on the Sunday, and they had completely sold out of them.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they didn't have a lot there by the looks of it.
Okay. I wonder if they sold that big board game because they were only accepting cash, and that's
I found that weird as well.
I know they're from Poland, but
I'm sure they have cards in Poland.
Yeah, right. You're like, guys, come on, mate. You will make so much more money why they didn't do that, whether they don't understand how to, or it costs money to set up,
especially like in like post-pandemic times, like I very, very rarely have cash on me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, to be fair, I very rarely had cash on me beforehand, just because I find it more of an inconvenience.
Yeah. And the big box game, that Master of the Universe game, was like 75, 76 quid?
75 quid, something like that. I think it might be 72, actually.
Yeah, it was like a weird number as well. Because it's not like 75, so it's not like you'd have it all in notes. It'd be like, you need some change. And it was like, this is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
I mean, I think that was generally our weirder experiences of the expo. I don't think the only other weird thing was more our own doing, is when you were saying, "Oh, I've got a dodgy ear," so then me and Wendy just stood on the side where your dodgy ear was to talk to you, and I decided, okay, if he can't hear me, I'll talk like Matt Berry and see if he hears me then.
Thanks for that. By the
way. So for like 5 minutes, I was walking around. Look, Pickle, a red panda.
So just for some context, last year, or it might have been the year before, I had like a really, really bad cold, or I had something. I think it was just a really bad cold, and it ended up like one of my ears was like really blocked up, to the point where I woke up one morning and I genuinely for a couple of minutes thought that I had gone deaf, because I was laid on the ear that wasn't blocked up. I could see that Wendy was talking to me, and I couldn't hear a thing. Like, it was dead silent.
Oh, dear.
And it was like really blocked up for like a good few weeks. And I was like, kept thinking, it's just a cold. And then like one day, just randomly, my ear just popped. And then it was all of a sudden, I was just like, I can hear in HD. This is amazing. But ever since then, that ear has been, I can still hear through it, but it's just not as well as my other one.
Temperamental.
Yeah, so basically, it's not usually an issue, but then when you're in like a big convention center and there's just noise everywhere, I find it hard to focus on someone talking to me on that side. So I tend to move to the other side so I can hear a bit better.
Yeah, so me and Wendy just trolled him the entire time.
Because that's what friends do.
Speaking of which, as well, it was quite entertaining as we were walking around. People would intermittently stop Pickle. We'd be like, "Oh, Pickle! I watch your channel," stuff like that. Me and PQP decided we needed to strike a pose whenever it happened. So every time you got stopped, we were like, "Strike a pose!" And I don't know what poses we were doing, but we were striking poses, so everyone must have thought this really weird situation where they come up and talk to you, and then the two people beside just quickly dart into pose.
So you were talking about like weird experiences at the expo. Like, if I'm completely honest, like those were the weirdest experiences for me. Like, not in a bad way. Like, anyone that came up to see me, like, if you listen to this, like, thank you very much for coming and saying hello. Like, I do appreciate it, but I still find it bizarre that people know who I am. And like, I'm not kidding myself. I'm not like actually famous. I'm not an actual big time YouTube person. So it's very humbling. And I still find it very bizarre. And I'm still not entirely certain how to respond. So if you did come and see me and I came across as awkward, welcome to me. I'm just not equipped to deal with positive comments, really. Anyone that's on my Discord will know this. But no, that would. I mean, I've had it a few times, like in my local store, in stores in Sheffield. I've had it at Warhammer World.
You had it a few times at the expo. It was like a fair few. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was just like a one-off thing. There were a good few incidents.
To the point where we were striking different poses many a times, and then we were trying to photobomb, and I got that wrong. And yeah. To the weirdest point as well, when some guy looked at me and goes, "I know you as well." And I was just like, oh no. Like, Pickle doesn't know what to do. I'm like, huh? What?
Yeah, that was weird. But seriously though, like I say, if he did come up and say hello, thank you a lot for coming and saying hello, because it is cool. Like, as much as I find it bizarre still, it is cool, and it was a nice experience. And I didn't even have to wear my own merch to get recognised. So
yes.
that was also cool.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about what we bought?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, I got the He-Man and Battlecat special edition thing because I thought I don't really want to spend 70 odd quid on that, but a model, like, I'm cool with that. And I also got a dragon from Archon Games as well. So they do very cool dragons there.
Oh yeah, I forgot you bought that dragon.
Yeah. The Dungeons and Lasers set, Archon do those, and yeah, that dragon, the lava one, where you kept on telling me that 5 heads was better than 1.
Yep.
Yep.
It's more heads.
Yep.
Simple maths, man. I don't understand what you're not getting.
Yeah, I mean that was that bit, and then we found Tritex Games. We only found out the name after we left the convention.
Yes.
We didn't know who they were, but basically they were selling Star Wars Legion stuff at 50% off. And we were like,
well, I think they were selling everything they got, or most things that they got, at very discounted rates.
Not the Marvel Crisis Protocol. That stuff was way more expensive.
I didn't look at the Marvel stuff. I'm in full Star Wars mode at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, so with them, I looked and we went and picked up, because I ended up going back because I bought some stuff from them because it was cheap, and then because I couldn't get some of the other stuff that I wanted, I ended up going back and buying a bit more. So I picked up 2 B1 expansion boxes for, I think they were 12 quid each. And I bought one of the what's he called? The
Super Tactical.
The Super Tactical droid. Now, I bought the Super Tactical droid because I thought that I had got one of the other droid commanders already. I think there's like 3 different ones.
What are they called? You get like 3 or 4 of them in a box.
So I thought that I had got because I thought I'd got the Separatist Specialist Personnel expansion.
That's it.
And I hadn't. I had bought the same one that I bought at the convention. So when I got home and I was all excited, to be fair, when I got home, I still didn't realise because I didn't get the other box out because they're sort of in a terrifyingly unbalanced tower next to my computer, all my Star Wars Legion stuff. So I was like, yep, all excited. I've got loads of droid stuff. I'm going to get some built. And it was when I came to building stuff on stream on Wednesday and I thought, I'll build them a couple of droid commanders that I've got, and got both boxes down and went, these are the same. Although, like, it's not too bad because that model comes in 3 different poses. So I'm gonna build the second one in one of the other poses. So it's not gonna go to waste. I'm not gonna have to sell it or anything. It just means I'll have to get some of the other stuff at some point, but it's not that bad really. It's like a tenner, and I get to do an alternate pose now. So,
yeah, I mean, I've got 2 Obi-Wan Kenobis, so
I've got 2 Obi-Wan Kenobis and 2 General Grievuses.
Actually, yeah, I've got 2 General Grievuses, basically 2 of the core set.
Yeah, I've got 3 of the droid core set apart from the HQ. I've only got 2 of each of those, but I mean,
okay.
I'm only ever going to need 1 of each of those, really. So, so yeah, I bought those. What else did I buy? We went to Atlantis Miniatures as well. Big shout out to Dan from Atlantis. Again, we'll put a link down below in the description for my manufacturing, his store.
Yes, yeah. They're known as Blue Giant now.
That was the name. Do you know what? I've been trying to think of what the overall name was. They used to be Atlantis Miniatures, and they've got the STL side, which is Print My Minis, and it all falls under Blue Giant as a name. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think he's basically just trying to consolidate all into one. So yeah,
but we both went there. I mean, we both know Dan anyway. We've had stuff from him in the past for videos and stuff, and been a fan of his works, but he was at the expo. He was selling off he got loads of stuff, like some really nice resin kits. And what did you buy? Did you buy?
So, just before I tell about what I bought, we missed Dan the first time round.
Yes, we did.
It was literally
actually,
it was literally on the way out that we spotted him, and like bless Wendy, like she was kind of done at that point, and I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, but I need to go to this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan, I bought an Etin, which is like a 2-headed giant.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan's the nicest guy on the planet, and he's got like excess like trades or like show stock, so all of the kits were like half price.
Yeah,
it was insane. I would have like blown so much more money, but Dan. Yeah, Dan's one of the nicest people in the world, because he was basically saying to us, dudes, you can just have what you want. Like, he wasn't going to charge us, but we heard he's been having a little bit of a harder time, as everyone has been, over COVID and stuff like that. So he's had to do some different things to help support the family and everything like that. And then it obviously had all this excess stock. So me and Pickle both decided, no, we're actually going to buy something off of him. We did have to tell him. We're like, no, we're paying.
We were like, no, take money off us, please.
Yeah, take this. I want one of them. But he also gave us both he gave you the Brewmaster as well, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah,
so he would not let us leave without having something like for me and Buzz.
Yeah, so we got this really cool like 75mm Dwarf Brewmaster model, which I'm sure we've got to do a collab video on that somehow.
We should do, really. I mean, I've had the 32mm version of that model sat, and I've been sat going, I really want to paint that because it's such a cool model. Now I've got the 75mm version. I am absolutely going to paint that. That is such an awesome model. So I got that. It wouldn't let me leave without that. But I bought the Mountain Troll, which is I think it's one of his earliest sculpts.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to that. I was actually going to record some footage earlier on today, and then I ended up just sort of going, I'm too warm, I'm just going to chill out this evening. But I'm planning on doing a video for that at some point in the next few weeks. So
yeah, I did a tutorial on that one way back.
Did
you? Yeah, I think it's on Chillin' Wargamers. I might be wrong. It might be one of my old videos. I'll have to have a look. But if I find it, I'll let people know. I'll stick a link in the thing down below.
Yeah, it's such a cool model. I mean, to be fair, all his stuff is. I've done a while back. I did a video on using a limited color palette, and I painted a wood elf. That was one of Dan's. That was one of the models that he sent out, a resin model. I've still got a load more of the wood elves that I need to do something with.
Believe it or not, like this is an unwritten agreement I do with Dan as well, and hence why he offers to give us stuff. Is a lot of the time his kits for me don't end up going anywhere or doing anything. They just kind of sit on a shelf, and I kind of look at them after a while and I go, they need to go into the world. They need to be free. So I basically just send Dan my painted minis because I'm like. So a lot of the minis you'll see on display at the shows are mine, which is
I mean, I said the same
cool.
thing to him, to be fair, because I'm planning on getting this Mountain Troll painted and hopefully get the Brewmaster painted before ChillCon as well.
Right.
Which, if you don't know ChillCon, it's a convention at the end of August. Is it the 20th, 21st? 22nd? It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's a Saturday of that weekend.
Me and Elston are both going. We're doing the
hobby clinic.
The hobby clinic, like sort of together. Luke's coming to do that with me as well.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, we're going to get some footage and stuff and make a cool video out of it. But we'll be there. But Dan's going to be there as well. And I've said that I'll get the stuff painted up and I'll take it with me on the day for him to have in the display cabinet.
I'm not sure if Dan actually confirmed if he's going to ChillCon unless he's done that afterwards.
Oh, I thought he said he was going.
Not sure if he is 100% going, but I will check. I will definitely touch base with him before it happens to see. But yes, the hobby clinic is also something I run as well. So we have myself. I do a bit of painting. We have a Golden Demon winner, Judge Gudge. You'll probably know him from the Pickle Jar server. and a very good friend of mine, Moggy's Miniatures, who is a professional painter and taught me a lot about speed painting. So there's a vast swathe of knowledge there.
Yeah, you three are the main guys.
Yeah.
And then they've got like a few others to come in and help with like breaks and stuff, which is why I'm going, because otherwise, why am I doing it?
Well, it's one of those things. I've been running the hobby clinic for a few years now, and it's been a labor of love, and a lot of the time it's me, Moggy, and Judge sitting there, and occasionally some people get brave and come talk to us. We've had Gav Thorpe come up and talk to us before, which is quite fun. But what we want to do is kind of encourage more people to come and say hello. So we're bringing in other guests as well. So if you and Luke are coming along, we've got Pickle and Luke. We're going to be doing stuff. Mel, the terrain tutor, is going to be doing a couple hours or so there at some point, doing something. I'm not entirely sure what. I haven't organised that part of it. So, and a new idea of something I am trying to put together, we'll see how it goes, is called Painting with the Painters. So we are going to be getting some extra tables and sticking them in front of the painters. So if you want to come and paint as well, you can come and sit with the painters and do some painting with them as well. So
that's a really cool idea.
That's a new idea. That is the first time I've announced it. Hopefully it all go to plan. Please don't kill me if it doesn't work. It's an idea. The guy who runs ChillCon is on board with it. So we've just got to work out the spaces and things like that. But that's our intention. So if you are interested and you want to come along and paint with any of us at any time, I will try and get a schedule out and I'll let you know who's going to be what, where, when. So if you want to come and paint along with people, you can do. That's my plug for ChillCon, because I went into advertising mode there for a second.
What we'll probably do is, like maybe at the beginning of August, we'll do an episode and we'll talk about like all the vendors that are going to be at ChillCon and other bits and pieces that are going on, and we'll do like a big promo episode for that. And share some more stuff with you guys if you're planning on coming.
It's in Sheffield, by the way. So just to clarify, if people weren't sure where it is, it's in Sheffield.
Yeah, so. It's Int North. But anyway, so I think that's everything that we bought from the Games Expo.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think I bought anything else. I think it was just basically I went and bought droids because they were cheap. And then the couple of bits from Dan. Wendy bought some dice.
Also as well, when we went outside for lunch, we bumped into Faux Hammer, Dan from Lion Tower, and was there someone else? Or was it just those two?
It was just those two.
And there was also a bit where my hand decided it no longer wanted to eat the chips that were in the other hand, so it decided to smash them, and they went everywhere.
Yeah,
remember that part? That was
I do. Yeah, where you just decided to splash chips everywhere.
My right hand was like, "I'm done with this," and just smacked them.
So just outside the convention center, I mean, there's plenty of food places inside, but outside there's a little food van that does like burgers and chips and all that sort of stuff, and an ice cream van next to it. And we were sat outside just getting a bit of fresh air and cooling off a bit, because obviously it's very warm with the amount of people in there.
Oh, they got that fountain over the lake in it.
Yes.
Every now and again it sprinkles you with a light mist.
Yes, that was very refreshing. And we were sat there for a while and we were just chatting, and Faux Hammer, what's his name? I forgot his name. Ross. Ross came and said hi. And we were chatting to him. And for a while, I was sat looking at a guy who was stood sort of maybe 4 or 5 meters away from us. And I was sat there for about 15, 20 minutes thinking, that looks like Dan from Lion Tower. But it can't be Dan from Lion Tower, because we've been around the entire convention twice and I haven't seen Lion Tower.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he looked up, recognised us.
I shouted out Dan.
Yeah, that way. Yeah, you shouted him, and he looked up, and they were like, "Oh, I need to go." And I came on the phone to someone, and then just came over. And I was like, "I've just been staring at you for about 20 minutes and convincing myself that it wasn't you." So yeah, we had a good night. He wasn't there as Lion Tower. He was there I can't remember who he said he was with. It was with someone else helping them out.
I can't remember who. But
yeah, we met Dan. First time I've met him in real life, which was cool. Again, a big supporter, big STL producer. We'll put a link in the description and stuff for his stuff, because I mean his stuff is absolutely fantastic. I've painted a few of his models on videos before.
Right.
I absolutely love his Final Fantasy inspired stuff. It's very, very nice.
I've got to do the Ifrit model soon. It's got to happen.
I know. I've tried to print it a couple of times at home, but my printer's been playing up for a while. I was planning on hijacking Luke's printer this week while he was on a holiday, and then I ended up not doing. But I'm going to see. I'm going to get it sliced and stuff and get it ready and get it printed at some point in the near future, because I've been wanting to paint that ever since he showed it me. It's a gorgeous model.
Right.
Right. So, yeah.
It's hard to explain just over voice, because all the people listening to this will just hear our voice. How close to an erection I get from looking at those models. I'm not joking. They're amazing.
So that was about it for the convention. We ended up leaving at about 3, 3:30?
I think it was about 3. Yeah, we kind of called it at that.
But we'd been there since 9 o'clock. I think the next time I go, because I definitely want to go again next year. And what I might look at doing next year is just not taking any cameras, not worrying about making any content. Because I think for me, like, even though I didn't end up doing much, I was still carrying around the camera like all day, because I didn't want to leave it in the car or anything, because it's an expensive camera.
Sure.
And like that sort of got very, like, my shoulder was aching. I was knackered because of the day before, like the long hours in the car and stress and stuff. I didn't get much sleep. So I think I would like to do the day where I can just go and not be worried about like filming and stuff, and go with more of a mind of looking for like some sort of new card game or board game or something, because that is mainly what it is. And like people did say to me beforehand that is mainly what it is, but
if anyone's curious about the Games Expo, here's a piece of advice, and I think I told this to you just before we went in, and we just got in there. I was like, Games Expo is brilliant if you have no idea what you're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'd not gone in like looking for anything in particular, but I think because it was literally because of the day before, because I knew I was there to get some footage and stuff, and I kind of feel like it's the awkward thing that I have at the moment where I do something like that is like a once a year thing, and then you kind of feel like you should do a video on it,
right,
or make some sort of content on it, even though realistically the content probably wouldn't be worth much, because like.
Look at Guy from Midwinter Minis. Look what he did. Have you seen his video?
Yeah, where he just goes, I bought this.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for Hammer for filming all my stuff. Yeah. So that's it. It's like I think next time I go, I will just I will do 2 days, and one day will be filming day, and one day will be just looking around day.
Yeah.
Or I will just do one day and just go for fun. I mean, I'll probably still post stuff, maybe like on like Instagram stories or YouTube, like community or something. I
think we should go just with our phones.
Yes.
Because I was having quite a lot of fun getting little clips of you doing silly things. I was enjoying myself immensely with that.
Yeah. So I think doing something like that for the next one will be fun. I mean, when we go to ChillCon, I will be doing some sort of video, but I'm only doing that because Luke is coming to do the filming for me. If I was just going by myself, I probably wouldn't do. I would again just go for fun. But Luke has volunteered to do some filming for me, so I can put something together. So that'll be cool. But yeah, I mean, it was a good day. It was nice to hang out with Elston. It was nice to Pirate Queen Pickle came with us. She enjoyed herself all day. A bit tired towards the end, but generally enjoyed herself. Yeah, it was really good, and I'm really glad that I went. And a massive thank you to Duncan, who is the person who organised for me and Pirate Green Pickle to go, organised like the hotel and the passes and stuff for us. And I can't remember what the figure was for how much they ended up raising over the weekend, but I know it was a decent amount for the charity that they were raising money for.
Nice.
Kidney Foundation? I can't remember the exact name, but I know it was a kidney charity. I should probably research that. I'll put links down below if I can find it. I can't remember exactly which charity it is. But yeah, they did a really good job with that, and the boards looked fantastic. I'm just glad that they got there in one piece. But yeah, so that was the UK Games Expo.
Pickle and Elston's day out.
Pickle and Elston's day out. The other thing that we wanted to do was to film
Wargamers, and they wanted to film this.
Yeah, we wanted to film Wargamers Anonymous while we were there and do like a live recording. But realistically, because I think if we'd been staying for like another night, and we had our hotel room, then yeah, we'd have gone back to our hotel room, we'd have filmed in there, done it in there. But because we didn't, there was nowhere in the convention centre that was quiet enough for us to be able to do it, really. So,
no.
But maybe next year, we'll see.
We'll definitely see if we can. Yeah, pull something off, because I know pull something off. Lol. Yeah, because a few people did ask, like, "Are you guys doing a podcast here?" And we're like, "Well, it's kind of impossible."
Yeah, well, not impossible, but like we'd not
planned
it enough.
Itself.
I think realistically, what we should have done is planned to, because we had our hotel room until it was 10 or 11 o'clock. So we could have just gone straight there and recorded it first thing, but then we wouldn't have been able to talk about the event because we wouldn't have been to the event.
The only other option would have been dual mic up and find someone with a stall there, and we could kind of hide a little bit, like at the World War II stall.
Yeah,
we might have been able to like actually pull off a podcast there with like if we were both mic'd up.
I think next year we could do it if we had like lapel mics and stuff. I think they're a pretty safe bet. But we've talked a hell of a lot. That is basically the overview of the UK Games Expo. It was really nice. There was loads of cool games, card games and board games and stuff. I didn't get to look at too many of them for too long, really.
No. Plenty of D&D stuff as well.
Loads
of
D&D
cosplay or dice or whatever.
And I tell you what, it's very telling how far 3D printing has come in the last few years, because there was a hell of a lot of stalls selling 3D printed models. Some of them were better than others, but there was a lot of stalls selling 3D printed stuff. And it's cool because it sort of brings that price down, and people that haven't got printers have the opportunity to buy some cheap models for D&D and stuff, and it was really cool. Not just like miniatures as well, like scenery bits, like bookcases and bits and pieces for dungeons and stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that about wraps up that. That was our experience at the UK Games Expo.
It was wonderful.
Overall a good event.
Yes.
Do you know what else is a good event?
What's that?
Snack Attack. So this week's Snack Attack is a little bit different. And when I say a little bit different, I've already finished my Snack Attack.
I'm nearly done with mine.
So we decided, because we're doing this on a Friday night instead of a Saturday morning, it was way more acceptable to have a cheeky drink.
Yes.
So we've both had a drink. Now, normally what we do with Snack Attack is we both have the same thing, so that we can sort of compare notes and like discuss like specifics for whatever thing. Because this is the first time that we've done alcohol on Snack Attack, or indeed a drink on Snack Attack,
booze.
We decided that we would just do the generic category of booze. So we both picked our tipple of choice, and we've been enjoying it throughout the podcast. I have finished mine. I kind of wish that I'd got a second now, because for me, so here's the thing. I don't drink that often.
No, same.
When I do, like the first one, it's nice, but then I find that the second and the third are always the best. Like you have one and it's like it's all right, but then that one gets you in the mood for the second and the third, and you enjoy those way more. And then after that, like to be honest, like I can't really like
You can't talk properly anymore.
I can't talk properly anymore after I've had like more than 3 bottles. So I tend not to drink many more than that anyway. But yeah, so I've had Rattler Original Cornish Cloudy Cider. I am more of a cider fan than lager or beer or wine or anything like that. If I'm drinking something like this, if I go on a night out, I tend to drink either gin or whiskey with some sort of mixer, because it's not quite like cider's quite heavy, it's quite blurting, it's very gassy. But if I'm on a night out, I'll drink something like that. I'll drink shorts and mixers. But if I'm just having a cheeky drink at home, or if I'm just nipping, like if I'm going to the pub for the quiz or something, I might have maybe 1 or 2, and I'll have cider then. I do like lager, but cider's my preferred drink of choice. What have you had tonight, Elston?
See, I'm not a cider or a lager drinker. I'm an ale drinker.
So I'm surprised that you're not a cider fan.
Fizzy. I went off fizzy a long time ago, and I people that have met me in real life, I'm relatively short in stature. So if if I get bloated, I can get about 2 pints in me, and that's it. And then the only way I can get more in me is the tactical vomit. I will explain more about the tactical vomit another time, but there is a thing called the tactical vomit. I will teach you. It
doesn't sound like something we need explaining.
Yeah, we don't. I'll teach. I'll tell you one day.
The thing. So just on that, then the Rattler cider that I've had, because it's like a cloudy cider. It's not. It's not particularly fizzy. Like, it's not flat, but it's not like drinking strong beer that is all fizz.
Yeah. See, I've tried ciders, and I kind of, when the Copperberg phase came around, I was kind of like trying that.
I worked in a pub when Copperberg became a big thing. And I used to annoy people when they came to the bar and asked for Koppenberg. And I said, sorry, we don't sell that. And they'd be like, yeah, you do, it's there, it's fridge. I'm like, oh, sorry, that's Kopperberg. No way. As you can tell, I've always been a sarcastic little twat.
Well, me, myself, I switched to ales. I don't know when, but it's been my drink of choice ever since then. So I today am drinking a Innocent Gun Caribbean rum cask Scottish red beer, which is an ale. It's a very nice one. It's one of the spicy ales because it's kind of rum flavored. It's 6.8%. So you
win on that front then, because mine's only 6%.
Yeah, so this thing can, if you have a few of them, you'll get there quick. It is a wonderful beer. I love it. I to the point where I bought 48 bottles of it because I was like, this is amazing. I want more of this. I'm like,
I love that you like your buying habits. Like, when you talk about like miniatures that you buy and stuff, like, the 1st of January when you went out and spent like however much on all those models because you'd not bought anything for a year. And we all went, oh, Elston's mental when it comes to miniatures. I like that you just bulk buy everything. Because now we know that you bulk buy miniatures.
Yep.
We know that you bulk buy sweets on Amazon.
Yep.
And you bulk buy beer.
It's all about value for money.
So the cider that I had, it's Rattler Original, which is just, it's apple flavoured cider. I do like different ciders, like fruity ciders. I think my favourite cider, to be fair, my favourite cider is Rattler, either original or the berry one. They do. I discovered it a few years ago when I was in Cornwall on holiday. I say discovered it like I'm the first person to have it. I mean, like I
found this in a hole.
Yeah, like I personally discovered it. Like everyone else knew about it, but I personally discovered it, and I really enjoyed it. Other than that, I like Old Moot. That's a nice fruity cider. I do like an Old Rosé every now and then, but I have to really be in the mood for it. I had one when we went to do the 24-hour challenge in Grimsby. I I was already drunk at this point, and then I had an old rosé, and then I was very, very drunk. So I have to really be in the mood for one of those. But I've always preferred cider. I mean, I've only just in the last couple of years started really drinking lager, and I was never really a fan.
Okay.
And I've tried like beers and ales a few times, and I struggle.
Like, it's an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's not really for me at the moment. And I keep, like when you're younger. And you
keep
try, you try vegetables, or you try coffee, or you try whatever, and you think, "Oh, I'm never gonna like this. This is disgusting." And then all of a sudden, like you get to whatever age, and you suddenly go, "How did I live without coffee?" I kind of feel like that with ales. Like at some point, I'm just gonna go, "I drink ales now. This is my life."
Interestingly enough, I have that with wine, but I have never found the taste for it. I do not like wine.
See, I got quite into... so, here's a fun story.
Okay.
I don't drink wine, but a couple of years ago, the theatre group that me and Wendy are a part of...
Right.
It was the... 60th, I think it was the 60th like anniversary of the club, of the society being a thing. I think it was the 60th. And they had a big do that we went to, and when we went, I was like, I've not drunk for a long time. Like, I am planning on getting like absolutely like off my face, because I don't drink very often. And then when I do drink, I'm usually fairly sensible, because like I always have this voice at the back of my head saying, "You've got to do this tomorrow. You've got to do that tomorrow. Don't get too silly." Like, do you know what I mean? Like
every now and again, the planets align, and there's that. I don't have to do anything tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it. I literally went
absolutely shit faced.
Yeah, that's it. And I said, I am getting hammered tonight. And we went, and it was a bad start because. There was bottles of wine on the table.
Oh dear.
That we didn't have to pay for. Now,
oh dear.
I don't drink wine.
Right.
I necked 2 glasses of wine before I even sat down. And when I say necked, I mean like I chugged a big glass of wine, and then I poured another one and chugged that. That was a very fun night, which ended with me and a load of the other guys from the society doing the full Monty.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. That's what wine does to pickle. Anyone, if you see him at an event and he's drinking, just get him to neck a couple of bottles of wine. If you really want to see pickles pickle.
So yeah, I don't drink very often, but every now and then I do enjoy the odd bottle of cider, or like maybe like a small like lager of choice is like
every now and again you go balls out.
Well, yeah, but no, like every now and then, like I've drunk a couple of times this week because we've been out a lot this week, and we've done a couple of like theatre trips, and we've been out for tea and stuff, and to the pub. So I've had a couple of bottles this week. That'll probably be all I drink until my birthday in August, because and even then I might not drink that much because I just don't really. It has to be like a really special event. And
I really hate the hangover that lasts a couple of days as you get older. Like, it used to last a day, and it just gets longer.
For me, what's happened with me is I used to drink like quite a lot when I was younger. I used to work in a pub, and we used to drink while we were working. I used to work 5 nights a week, and I would be drinking every night I worked. And then on my nights off, I would be in the pub with my friends. Right. So I'm talking like when I'm like 18, 19.
Yeah, I know the phase.
Like, you know. We all go through that sort of phase. Yeah. So I drank a hell of a lot. And then even after I stopped working in the pub, like we went out a lot, or we had parties and stuff. And then one year, I just decided I was going on a big health kick, and I stopped drinking completely. I went teetotal for an entire year. I stopped eating junk food. I started going to the gym like 4 times a week, because when I was younger, I was like super scrawny. And I like properly, I mean, like, not to brag, but I was in really good shape for about a year. And then ever since then, I've not been able to drink anywhere near as much as I used to. Like my tolerance has just completely gone, which is why I don't drink a lot now, because I can't without getting drunk. And like, I drink, when I do have a drink now, it's just to enjoy the flavor or the taste of the drink. It's not necessarily to get drunk.
Yeah, you have hit adulthood where you enjoy the flavor.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not sure how to rate alcohol in general, because it's a very broad topic.
Yeah, right. So here's what my suggestion is. The specifics we get rid of just for this one instance, and we just go wargaming snack, rate it 1 to 10. I reckon, because obviously loads of different things, loads of different flavors.
The thing is, I don't know if you can. Like, there's too many factors that aren't based on the drink.
You have not drank enough, my good friend, because you are overthinking this.
I mean, like, because like alcohol as a wargaming snack is automatically a 0 out of 10 if you're driving.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's like circumstances.
Right. So okay, yeah. Let's wipe out some of those factors. Okay. Say you don't have to drive anywhere.
Well, whose house am I going to?
Ah, right. Okay. So you are going
I'm being purposefully pedantic.
Yes. Right. So let me outline your rules. You're going to Luke's house. You're staying there the night, because the next day you have nothing to do, but you need to be at Luke's house so he can film you for a video.
Right.
But you don't need to be in the best condition, because it's going to be a funny video. You do need to play games in the evening, and that is it.
Right.
That is the criteria. Wargaming snack, alcohol, what is it? 1 to 10. Go.
I'll probably go maybe 6 out of 10 then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think as a wargaming, not snack,
it's not a
as
snack.
a
It's not a
wargaming
snack.
beverage. I would say that, to be honest, like I said, I don't drink a lot, and when I do, it tends to be when I'm being social and being out. It also depends on what we're playing. Like, if we're playing Blood Bowl or some sort of smaller skirmish sized game, I am more likely to have like maybe a couple of beers and like a bowl of pretzels or Doritos or something.
Right.
Compared to playing like 40k, that is, it's a bit more involved.
Yeah,
and
too much.
Yeah.
But go back to when I came up and stayed with you. That shows you, me, Luke, and Rich from Spray Black. That kind of scenario where we were playing Blood Bowl.
I had a couple of beers that night, a couple of ciders.
Beers are good. I'm going to rate them 7, because I still think you need other things to make them work. Like, if you don't drink some water before you go to bed, the hangover is going to be 10 times worse.
Yeah.
And you do need food.
So well, that's it. I always feel like I need a takeaway after I've had a few drinks. Like the desire, like
for
there's like some sort of there's some sort of weird graph where like the y-axis, the x-axis is the amount of beer that you've drunk, and the y-axis is the desire for kebab, and it's just like a straight line, like a perfectly angled line going up.
4 pints, 40% more chance of kebab.
I'd say it's more than 40%. If I have 4 pints, it's like 100% chance I'm going to have a kebab. If I'm completely honest. What I would say is that, wargaming snack, 6 out of 10. Wargaming beverage, sorry.
I'll agree.
Karaoke beverage, like 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I'll agree with you. I'll go with 6 as well, because it comes with some kind of caveats where it needs other things to go with it, but it can make a wargaming evening with friends even funnier.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what you're having with, and it depends what you're playing. It depends like where you are. There's a lot of things to take into consideration, but assuming the perfect scenario, I'm still going to say just a 6 out of 10. I think there's better snacks and things to have, and I don't like. Yeah,
fair enough.
And bear in mind, this is just a vague overview of alcohol as a thing to have while you're playing war games in general. It's not a reflection on the specific drinks that we've both had tonight, because we've had different things. We can't really give it a rating because
it's basically just booze. How good is booze with wargaming?
Yeah, I would say I think 6 out of 10 is a good.
Yeah.
I think that's about right.
Better than middle of the road.
Yeah. So that was Snack Attack. It's a bit different this week. This is a very different episode today. Yes. But I hope you guys still enjoy it. I think what we're going to do this week as well, we did have a plan to talk about something for story time, but we've gone a little bit long talking about the main topic. Yes. So if it's all right with Elston, I think what we're going to do is skip story time for this week. And we'll bring the episode to a close here, because we've gone over by about 15 minutes. Not that we have a time limit, but we do like to try and keep it as close to an hour as possible. And what we were going to talk about for story time, I have a feeling that we could probably talk about that for a good 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, we to give everyone a little bit of a sneak peek, we were thinking about including other media.
So opening in story time up to TV shows and films and things like that, as well as just books. Because
it's something we can talk to, and hopefully a lot of people can relate to, rather than people having to slog their way through a book, which might take them a month. Something you can watch in half an hour.
And it's like, the thing is like obviously the podcast is a wargaming podcast, but there's a lot of other things that we enjoy watching and playing and doing. And we wanted a space to be able to talk about that, and rather than introducing like a separate segment specifically for that, we just decided to open up story time to maybe we'll rename it to like media moment.
Let's keep it story time. Story time's fine.
But we want to open it up to other things. So we've got a topic we want to talk about. We'll probably leave it for the next episode. I do want to talk about it. We're not going to spoil it, so don't worry.
Well, if anyone wants to try and get up to speed, we're going to talk about Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we are spoiling it. We're talking about Stranger Things on the next episode.
Yeah, well, it's more just so, like, if people are not aware and they want the opportunity to kind of get where we are going to be at, that's what we're going to be talking about. So you've got 2 weeks to get up to speed, because 4th season's out and I'm just about to finish it. Pickle has finished this part of it.
There's like 2 more episodes coming on the 1st of July.
Oh, is it only 2 episodes? Oh, they're going to be long episodes, right?
I think so, yeah. I think the last one's like 2.5 hours.
Wow. Oh, right. Okay. That's enough of story time on that side. But people, Stranger Things, next time we're going to be talking about it. So if you want to catch up, start watching it now. It's on Netflix. Go.
Seriously, go and check it out. It is so good.
Yeah.
But with that, we are at the end of the episode. Thank you very, very much for making your way all the way to the end. I know it's been a bit of a longer episode and a bit of a different episode, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Elston, thank you as always for joining me on this trip down memory lane and chatting with me about all sorts of nonsense.
A wonderful experience in real life.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're just voicing it in each other's ears.
Yep, that's it. We'd like to meet up every now and then. And it's not going to be too long before we do again, so it'd be good.
Exactly.
Where can we find you on the World Wide Web if we want to check out any of your wonderful content?
I will try and be brief, because usually I talk a lot of crap at this point. You can find me on Elstonation on YouTube. That's my channel. I do stuff on there. You can also find me on Elstonation's Minis on Facebook. And I'm on Instagram on Elstonation. That's it. If you want to contact me at any point, just drop me a PM, a DM, or whatever that you need to message me, then feel free. If it's rude, I'll probably just block it and report you. So enjoy.
Brilliant.
Hey, cool. How about you?
You can find me over on my channel, The Pickle Jar, or you can find me on my live stream channel every Wednesday evening and every other Sunday morning. The Sunday streams will be swapping round in the next few weeks, as will the release of this podcast as well. I am having a swap around in the weeks that I have my son. Basically, we usually record on the weekends that I don't have him, so that I can actually record without any background noise. So because I'm swapping, it might mean that you'll either get 2 episodes 2 weeks in a row, or you might have to wait an extra week for an episode. I'm not sure which way around we're doing it yet. I need to discuss that with Elston off the air.
That's fine.
But yes, you can find me at all those places, or you can find me over on my Discord server. Link for that down below in the description. And there is a specific section on there for Wargamers Anonymous, as well as all the other channels for everything that we get up to. Massive thank you for everyone that listens to these. We really enjoy doing them. If you've enjoyed it, leave us a like, leave us a review. Make sure you subscribe or follow, depending on what platform you're on. Share
Also,
us with your friends.
suggestions in the Pickle Jar Discord, please. Stack attack suggestions, story time suggestions, all that stuff. Please put that in there as well, because we really do appreciate that, all your suggestions.
Yeah. But yeah, make sure you share us out with your friends, things like that. If you've got anyone that you think might enjoy listening to us waffle on about all the garbage that we talk about, share us out and help us spread the word and get more people in this lovely community that we've created. That's going to do it from us for this week. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. We'll see you later.
Bye. We've got an end of podcast somehow.
Go to end the podcast. Hang on.
Oh, I can help.
That's all we can do, really, because we've only got one note each.
I kind of did a little bit of inflection.
Brilliant.